Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone is so far having a good day and a good week. You are tuned in with the author Andrew Snorton, and oh no, it did this again. Oh, it didn't do it again. Okay, I know technology, wonderful thing, wonderful thing. Hopefully, everybody's doing as well as possible today. This is the Fast 15, which is, oh goodness, hold on. There is something going on here. Something going on. There we have it. All right, I think we're good now. Okay, so we're going to try this again. Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuned in to the Fast 15 with the author Andrew Snorton. This is our weekly chat series that takes place each and every Wednesday about 1:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The goal is for a quick and easy 15 minutes or so for everybody. Just kind of pause for a moment, given everything going on with the now normal. It's an opportunity for everybody to check up, check in, enjoy a short passage, and then go ahead and have a couple of positive and encouraging closing notes to get you on your way and on your day and on your week. So I thank each and every one of you for tuning in on Facebook Live on the page Author Andrew Snorton, as well as Instagram Live at Author A Snorton. And we'll probably add a couple other platforms, but for now, we're just going to keep it that simple. So first off, we're at the middle of the week, the middle of the day. We know that there's still a lot of things going on, even though it is our now normal, and we know in general, the way that we're moving is a little bit different, thanks to issues related to COVID-19, I said COVID-15, COVID-19, things on the political landscape and, things along those lines. There's a lot of moving parts taking place. For those who are, as part of their now normal, are working through, let's say, employment issues, we know, unfortunately, that there are some people who have lost their jobs, some businesses that have closed due to everything that's going on. We hope that you not only stay as encouraged as possible, but take inventory of the skill sets, your talents, things of that nature. Definitely, use your networks, or as best as possible, go ahead and establish networks to go ahead and still stay as engaged and encouraged as possible and see what adjustments need to be made. We know that some people are working through things beyond just work-related issues. Some of it might be health issues or family issues, things along those lines. Please seek out the help and encouragement that you need formally and informally. We know through the medical profession there's the telehealth system. So please, 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 if this applies to anybody out there or someone please take advantage of those formal and informal support means and methods to get the help that you need. And there's no shame in asking for help. There's no it doesn't make you less of a person if there's, like I said, a physical health issue that you're working through, emotional, mental health, things along those lines. So please don't hesitate to seek out the support that you need so you're not feeling like you're the only person dealing with something. On the flip side, we know there are a number of people that are enjoying positives, and I think it's okay to definitely share those. And it's not bragging, but it's more so, hey, here's some positive things that are happening despite some of the things going on with the now normal. So maybe that can plant seeds of encouragement for people. There's some people who have launched businesses. There's some people that I know, hey, Black Pedro on Instagram, good to see you. There are people who are pursuing other passions, other things that they put on hold. So for those that can, use this time for your exploration. The things that you put on hold, work-wise or, enrichment-wise, go ahead and investigate and explore those. Anything that's going to allow you and people around you to grow, professionally, community-wise, what have you. Definitely look in and explore those things. A couple other acknowledgements. I definitely want to do a quick acknowledgement again for anyone that suffered a loss. I know immediately in my area the name Tyrone Hill comes to mind. We mentioned that last week, so I know that there's services and things going on for him, so we definitely want to keep him and his family uplifted and encouraged. And on the flip side, we know that COVID has definitely put some things on hold. So I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout to members of one of the Divine Nine sororities, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. This year is their centennial, meaning 100 years of existence in regards to service, outreach, and a number of, great contributions community-wise. This was the week they were supposed to be celebrating their centennial, but due to COVID, that's not happening. So to any members of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated out there, we still say thank you for the work that you are doing, and just remember, like the old phrase, delays don't mean defeat. So hopefully when you are able to formally celebrate, it's just going to be that much more meaningful because the delays you had to work through. So shouts to the ladies of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. So again, we always try to do this at the very beginning. Just pause and acknowledge, some of the things that aren't going well, but also try to help pivot into things that are going well so people can feed off of that vibe and feed off of that energy. Now, as we get into our selected reading for the day, it's actually going to be a segment from one of the audiobooks, actually the second audiobook, which is the Author's Mixtape Volume 2, Beyond the Holidays Beyond History. So that was released back in February, and it's available on almost 300 different platforms. So for the audiobook fans out there, that means Tidal, Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, Apple Music, Deezer, and just about any other, Amazon, of course. So any platform that you're used to getting, your audiobooks, you definitely want to give it a look. So the segment that we're going to get into, I think, definitely speaks to, the current situations at hand, as we've seen in recent weeks, because of the obviously with the police brutality cases, the cases that have taken place in Atlanta, Minneapolis. We know Breonna Taylor in Louisville, Kentucky, and so many others. The cover's being pulled back on a number of things that people didn't think were that big an issue or didn't think that were that deeply ingrained, but they really are that deeply ingrained. And it's great to see the rise of not only like our young adults, but our older adults who are getting, re-energized, reacclimated, definitely taking time to, investigate, do research, being proactive, the marching that's taking place. While that's not the only thing that has to be done, it's good seeing those types of things to draw attention, to things that we've overlooked. And also we're seeing, some signs of advocacy taking place, some of these renamings and statues and things along those lines. I think those are encouraging steps, but there's also more that has to be done. So it's not to say you can't celebrate, these particular victories, because they are, but there's a lot more that has to be done. So the segment that we're going to listen to from the audiobook is actually, let's see, let me make sure I've got the track. So give me a moment so I can pull the actual track. But this is from the second audiobook, the Author's Mixtape, Volume 2, Beyond History, Beyond the Holidays, and it's titled Selective Outrage. And we're going to listen, if my technology will agree with me, there we have it. We're going to listen to about a 2-minute segment that goes on in the middle, and it's kind of looking at how deep do some of these things run and how deep do we really need to go. So it's going to touch base on a couple, social issues, things along those lines, but you can definitely see where you can apply it to other things. So we're going to give this segment about a 2-minute listen. This is going to be, and this is Mango Japita to Dar, and it cuts it off. So I'm just going to say, Mano, ¿cómo estás? And things along those lines. So shouts, and I hope you're doing well. So we're going to give this 2-minute segment a listen, and we're going to simply break it down and then go ahead and pivot. So let's give this a listen.
See what's what. Selective outrage. We might not be able to fight every single battle, but there's some battles we have to be willing to fight. And understanding that in fighting those battles, we might not be at the end of the line. We might not see that solution. That's a very hard pill to swallow. It's a very tough reality. But without going too deep, somebody thought enough of their outrage that it didn't need to be selective, knowing that they might not see it come to fruition. I don't know. There's so many cases. I don't know. Gender equity, women's suffrage, oh, civil rights. Oh, how about in contemporary times? Our special needs community, things along those lines, because I guarantee folks that might have been in a wheelchair or something along those lines, they weren't exactly greeted in the most complimentary way. There's some tough battles to fight. I know I fall short. I'll admit it. And there is fear of the unknown. There's fear of being really out there in the front lines and really go ahead and speaking the truth and doing it consistently and peeling away all the layers and breaking apart paradigms, in some cases breaking apart people's existence or being, because you've disturbed them at the core. You've made them look at the mirror and they don't like what they see, from the historical ramifications to when they walk into the department store and they clutch that purse a little bit tighter, or they look a little bit different, or I don't know, they call the police because someone is selling a bottle of water. What are them folks doing out there? They're not supposed to do that. But last time I checked, you're not calling them when they tear up a goalpost when a team wins a game. Oh, but that's celebrating. We got insurance to protect that.
Okay, we're going to pause that right here, there. And just in that 2-minute segment, here are some takeaways or things to think about. And with any social movement, we have to understand there are people who got involved, who got engaged, who felt so outraged by the injustices that they saw that they felt like they had to do something. And so sometimes you might not see your work come to its fruition. I think of cases like, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. or Medgar Evers or Fannie Lou Hamer or, Coretta Scott King, Rosa Parks, and countless other names known and unknown who felt so strongly and so passionately about what can I do to be a better advocate? What can I do to make a difference? So even though they didn't see all the fruits of their labor, they still did not let that deter them from saying, what can I do, as consistently as possible? You can say that for a lot of people, known and unknown, for just about any movement or any motion, thing along those lines. So when we fast forward to today's times, think about the people on the front lines regarding police brutality, and knowing how deeply ingrained a lot of that behavior is. We know it's going to take some time, but we see signs of it chipping away. We see where some people are stepping down because, as some of the memes are going out, you're really questioning why they were there in the first place. But you see that there are signs and there is the potential for change. Is it going to come overnight? Clearly, it might not happen overnight. But the more that are doing a little bit as consistently as possible, there is that potential. And you also heard bits and pieces for other examples of advocacy, for our special needs communities, and so many others. So it can get a little bit overwhelming when you look and see all this different stuff going on and, oh my goodness, what can I do? But when you really slow it down and think about it, part of the reason that you're here is that someone thought enough of you, enough of an issue to say, hey, look, we have to do better and we have to be better than this. So I'm definitely grateful for those people who are recorded in history or might not be, who thought enough of me to be here. So that's going through a whole lineage of time, but I'm also grateful for the people who are continuing to step up. And then it just asks us, what can we do with our platforms? What can we do with our time? What can we do with our resources just to go ahead and be a better resource? And understand that we're not the end all. We're a bridge in order to keep things going constructively. So hopefully with each bridge that we cross, we're getting closer to where we're trying to be. So that's not only a mindset that can be applied for social issues, social causes, but just think about in our own lives. Like you heard me say, there's areas that I fall short. And I know that there's things that I can continue to work on. But in doing so, that allows me to be a better person, a better resource. And that's part of the reason why we're doing this live chat. So even when you're taking inventory, it's not to make sure don't demean or belittle what you have done. and just be encouraged by what you can, potentially do. And understand that, just do your part. Figure out what your part is, do your part to the best of your ability and as consistently as possible. And understand you're a bridge, because there's other people coming behind you who are primed to doing some powerful things. So that selection was called Selective Outrage, and that's from the second audiobook, the author's mixtape, Beyond the Holidays, Beyond History. So, as we get ready to wind down here, a couple of quick things just to share with you. Later on today, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, make sure to tune in to the Conversation Quarter Status Network live TV channel. You may view it at the network's website, statusnetwork.net. And when you go to the website, you'll see a pop-up that has a listing of all the shows. Put a checkbox where you see Conversation Corner. That way you're notified when we go live, as well as any updates, things along those lines. You can also view it on the Status Network smartphone app, and you just click on channels, click on live TV. On your social media platforms of Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, and other platforms, just make sure you add Status Network and Live TV, so that way you're able to watch everything. For those of you that have Roku and Amazon Fire Stick, you may make sure to go ahead and tune in the Status Network, and then it will also be here on the Facebook Live page for author Andrew Snorton. And on Instagram at Author A Snorton's more of the behind-the-scenes look. So make sure to tune in. I've got a great guest, Kishima McNeil, an awesome graphic artist, photographer, video, painter, you name it within the creative arts, she does it. A couple other real quick notes. Join me this Sunday through Zoom, and we'll have it posted here on our Facebook on the Facebook Live for author Andrew Snorton, all about the authors, where I join celebrity source Tyra Satai as my co-host. We have two awesome authors coming in that are going to really share, not only their work, but some other things. So as a reminder, if you or someone you know is an author, have them get in contact with me, and let's go ahead and talk and make that happen. I think those are pretty much the main things we wanted to cover for today. So I hope that you have found this time to be able to just pause for a minute, just to kind of exhale, acknowledge some of the things that aren't going that great, but then also take a look at some of the things that are going well and the potential of what can be. With today's passage, hopefully just gave you some food for thought, and just understanding that, some things, it will take something, but it's going to take as many of us doing as consistent a job as possible, in order to make it happen. And then don't forget about other ways to stay engaged and stay connected with yours truly. Again, on Facebook at author Andrew Snorton, that's the page. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, author A Snorton. And you can email me at authorasnorton@gmail.com. Those are really the best ways to stay connected. So hopefully with today, share it. It could help somebody. If the live, please go ahead and share it. Hey, Ms. Burris, good to see you. Hope you are doing well as possible. I know you've been clearing a couple of hurdles yourself, so look forward to catching up with you real soon. Send the regards to the family and everything along those lines. So again, those are ways to stay connected. Please make sure to stay encouraged. And again, not only this, but any of the Fast 15 chat series, any of those encouraging notes that you feel are going to help you or help others, please feel free to go ahead and share those. So we're getting ready to wind this segment down. Thank you for taking and making the time. This is what we do each and every Wednesday at about 1:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just a time to pause, a time to just kind of breathe and exhale, enjoy a short reading, and then close out on a positive note. So again, please stay encouraged out there. Keep your head up. If you're going through something, it's okay to have your moments, but remember, you're not designed to stay stuck in those moments. You're designed to move forward. So please continue, whether slowly or swiftly. Forward moving is still forward moving. So all of you take good care, and I will look forward to touching base with you all a little bit later on for the television show, and this coming Sunday for All About the Authors, and next Wednesday at this time to enjoy another edition of the Fast 15. So we're going to go ahead and shut this video off right here. We got